learned this from my girlfriend because she shares it. Responsibility over feelings.
Us.
Your feelings are temporary. Responsibility over feelings, because we say,
oh, it's so painful. I'm thinking of certain things I don't want to do. And
no,
it's
absolutely.
Like straight up responsibility
but
over feelings.
The thing for some people, I said, well, if I was going to give you $100K to do that, would you do it? Well, you see how your energy changed?
The Move Forward Everyday podcast, we all get 24 hours in a day to have freedom, to experience joy. What is important to you? Who are you? And what makes you happy? Okay, so hi, I'm MaryRuth, and this is our second episode of the Move Forward Everyday podcast. And I am so thrilled to introduce someone who is super special to me. We've been working together for almost 3 years. I think I met you, Eric, January, February of 2022. Do you think that that's accurate?
I think we met 2021.
Maybe. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was, when was your personal year one? Whatever year that was.
Yeah,
Because I read your numbers at Cryo.
Yeah.
Whenever you had your last child, what year was that?
Yeah, so I definitely think it was probably 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So first, before we get started with our morning and nighttime routine, which is what the Move Forward Everyday podcast is about, I just wanted to say that you are my executive coach, and not even weekly, but pretty much every single day. Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekend, but try to keep it to Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You are always there for me. Anyone who knows myself and the MaryRuth Organics team knows that I prefer text messaging. So you are an amazing coach, and I am so honored. I mean, it was a no-brainer for me when I said who should be the second episode of our Move Forward Everyday podcast. And for sure, it's you. You've helped me personally and professionally.
Yeah.
Myself, my 4 children, Ethan, Elliot, Jacob, and Grace.
Yeah.
You have helped my entire family, and definitely the brand to move forward every day. So I appreciate you so much. And I am so excited for our audience to get to know a little bit more about Eric's morning and nighttime routines. So we are just going to jump right in.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So let's start with the obvious one. I would just love for you to share with people, as the main purpose of this podcast is to just have 30 minutes where we get to really, really hear nothing performative, but just truly what your morning routine would look like at this season in your life. So I always say that people's morning and nighttime routines will change, like whatever challenge they're going through, whatever season of their life. But currently, what does it look like for you? And please also share anything you would like us to just know about your life currently.
Well, right now, it's been really busy. We're in the month of April, and it's been very going and going and going. I'm trying to catch up to myself. But anyway, my morning routine is prayer. I do prayer, 5 minutes of breath work. I meditate for 5 minutes. I write down my affirmations. I take my vitamins. I go to the gym.
Amazing. I love that Eric said he takes his vitamins. Hope everybody heard
seriously.
that.
I
No,
take my
for real.
Yeah, I take my minerals.
Yeah.
I got my MaryRuth probiotics, my omegas, peptides and vitamin D. I got all the things.
Yeah.
However, what I'm saying is this month, I hadn't had the chance to really slow down and do my proper morning routine because I've been so overstimulated and so busy, and everybody needs my time and needs my energy. And I'm like, whoa, I'm just giving them everything and nothing to myself. So prayer helps me to calm down when I'm busy, and breath work really drops me into my body.
That I
so
definitely,
much in my mind.
that after you share your morning routine and what time your routine starts and what time it ends, can we come back to the breath work part?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to know how long?
Yeah, like what times do you like waking up, and about how long does it take to complete?
Well, it depends. So sometimes I have clients at 5 a.m. Sometimes I have clients at 6 a.m. because I have a lot of clients on the East Coast.
Yes,
and this is via
exactly.
Zoom. So most times I'm up 5:30, 5:45.
And what time are you going to bed?
Between 9:35, 10:20.
Yeah.
If I'm in bed at 11 and I get up at 6, I feel like I'm hungover.
Yes.
Literally.
Totally.
I don't know why. I don't even drink, but I need to be in bed before.
I have to just inject this in here. So there is a lot of research that the hours from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. are double the hormone healing sleep. So that means like if you are falling asleep at 11, you miss just 1 hour of the double the hormone healing sleep.
That makes
so just
sense.
want to throw that in there, that definitely 10 p.m. bedtime, or like what you're doing, which is very aspirational, like 9:35. And then like you said, wake up 5:30.
5:30,
but continue, yes.
And what else did you wanted to know? How long?
Yeah. So what time, how long is it basically taking you? Is there like the speed version? Because I have like the two versions. There's like the faster version and then the longer version. So how long would you say your whole morning routine lasts?
I would say a good between 18 and 25 minutes. Like a good, if I'm not rushing myself. But if you want to kind of take that time down, I would say about 9 to 11 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You might be the only guest with such a fast morning routine.
Because
that's very impressive.
Because I realize I don't need as much time to drop into what I need for me. Because, you get these things and 20-minute meditation.
No. This
all
is
these
so
affirmations.
inspiring.
I'm like, no, that's short. Less is more.
No, I want the record to show. How old are you?
37.
Yeah, 37?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a male, 37. I think you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so this is an example of less is more.
Yeah.
And that you can still have a morning routine. And I think you said 18 to 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, and also
that's amazing.
let me add,
amazing.
every day, and I might not probably get to this later, I make sure I send my girlfriend a prayer every morning.
Yeah.
So when I get out of breath work,
in a voice memo text?
Oh yeah. As soon as
tell everybody how special the voice memo texting is. A lot of people don't use it.
Yeah, voice memo is so good because it allows you time. Instead of typing, you get to speak. But for me, I think I'm a better speaker than I am a writer. Because if I'm writing a prayer versus speaking one, I feel like I get to channel the best prayer through my voice and not through my hands.
You hear the frequency of the voice.
Yeah.
And she feels your energy.
Right. So intentionally, my thing is to do it after breath work because I'm more in my body. I'm dropping into a deeper, I'm grounded in my body. I'm not so much in my head space when I'm praying. So I can kind of call in a more profound prayer. And so that keeps me consistent within my partnership and relating where I know no matter what, every morning, she's getting a prayer, regardless
of
what I got going on.
I love that.
And even if it's like an hour late, I got to do it because that keeps me accountable. That keeps me anchored into what we're building outside of the noise, outside of what I think I need to do. And prior to that, I also say a prayer for myself before I say a prayer for her. So there's 2 prayers in the morning.
I also love, and I want to call it out, that you are saying a prayer for yourself first.
Yeah.
Which is, after so many years, I'm 41 now and 4 children, I realize you have to do this first. And I have a favorite saying, the way we love ourselves is how we love others.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you praying for yourself first and then sending her a voice memo prayer is so awesome.
The perfect marriage is the marriage of self.
Yeah.
And I learned it in my last relationship that didn't go too well. Because when you make your partnership God and not God, the creator, within your God, then your relationship fails. Because you're putting everything on a relationship. It's like idolatry. We're putting all these things that we can see, touch, feel, 3D, more powerful than the creator that we serve that's giving us all this light that we get to live. So I like to tune in, tap in, and stay dialed in prayer because it keeps me calm, it relaxes me, and allows me to have more clarity in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get to the nighttime routine, please, the reason I'm asking is for my own benefit. So many nice things during your morning routine, but can you talk about breath work? That is one of my weakest things in the health and wellness world. I have such a struggle breathing, and it's because of the stress.
Yeah.
So please, can you share with us just because I feel like if it's short, I might be able to do it. Like you said, it's not like you're doing 30 minutes of breath.
So let me clear people's vessels so it can really make sense.
Yeah.
Breath work is prayer for the body. Just know that. When I meditate, my mind is still ruminating. I'm still thinking about what I have to do, what's going on. Breath work gets you out of your mind. You can't be thinking and breathing.
I need to breathe during this podcast.
Right. So when you're doing the intense, deep breath work, you're not in your mind. You can't be. So it allows you to be more present, more in the moment, more in your body.
Prayer for your body is
prayer
what you
for your body. So now, once I have that prayer for my body, my prayer for others is that much potent. I mean, I've even sent you prayers after breathwork. You probably don't even know it. But I might like, oh my God, send MaryRuth for prayer.
That's right.
I'm sending a prayer.
That's
so
right.
I'm more channeled, I'm more in tune, I'm more connected to my higher self, where I'm listening because my channel is so lit up because I'm more grounded and anchored in the earth of my body. I'm at home in my body and not at the roof of my body, which is the home, right? My mind.
Yes, and I also just wanted to share again for anyone who's new to these kinds of concepts that, and maybe you want to comment as well, like when you're breathing correctly, the body really needs oxygen.
Yeah.
It needs oxygen to fight viruses, bacteria, all these things. So do you feel like a little high afterwards from breathing?
Yeah, deep. It's like DMT, like really deep breathing. Really, it's like your body is on a high, like you're like a high in life, right? And I always say life is in your breath and in your mind, right? But the body keeps the score. Mm-hmm. So if I'm always here, which I've been good at for so long.
You know that I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah.
Like you always say that I should ground myself more. I should step into my body more because my head is always thinking, okay, what do the kids need next? What does the business need next?
Yeah.
When are we picking them up from school? What's happening? When is dinner? Yeah.
And the body holds all the wisdom. The mind keeps the knowledge. But if you can't ground that knowledge into the body, you can't really get the wisdom. So that's what I'm learning. And I'm like, you and I are the same. We kind of relate in that space where I can figure stuff out like this. I'm so intellectual. Oh, boom, 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 boom. But when this is tired, what do I have?
No, it's really,
I'm off.
It's really off.
I'm off.
Yeah, I'm definitely off this week, everybody, just putting that out there for the podcast. Okay, we would love to hear for you, just your nighttime routine. And what time does it start? You already shared you go to bed between 9:35, 10:20.
Yeah, so I try to start my night routine probably 30 minutes before bed. Because right before bed, I try to do it. I'm just so lazy. I'm so tired. I'm like, I don't want to write on the pen. I don't want to. Yeah. But anything I want to call in, anything I want to manifest, I have, I do my affirmations. So affirmations, I'm writing them down because it's good to do affirmations right before bed because that's when your subconscious is wide open, right? So I do my affirmations. I have this saying, every day in every way.
I love this.
I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I say that 10 times.
That actually, even right now in this moment, is relaxing me. And I feel like, I could take a nap thinking about that. So, so every day in every way,
I'm getting better and better. And I say
every
that 10 times. And then
incredible.
There's another saying, thank you for showing me. I whisper it's like they call it like a whisper prayer. Thank you for showing me that this issue is already solved. So whatever issue I might be dealing with, unconsciously, consciously, life, problems, family, friends, clients, Creator God, thank you for showing me this issue is already solved. So this is all subconscious. I'm embedding this in my subconscious. And then I pray, and then I put on my binaural beats, or I might listen to like sleep affirmations around manifestation, abundance, peace, prosperity, because I have to rewire my subconscious while it's at rest. So that's what I did.
Yeah. I was talking to a hormone doctor about cortisol.
Yeah.
And they were just saying that, sometimes people are like, okay, in order to get my cortisol under control, I need to try to be calm all day. But that's really hard for some people because their days are back-to-back meetings or whatever it might be. So they were saying the off-ramp, like whether your off-ramp is 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., just first try to master the off-ramp where even if your day was a little bit stressful, things didn't go your way, whatever it is, the off-ramp is so important. And I think...
And the off-ramp is...
Like would be like the wind down, the nighttime routine, like what you're saying, like where you're saying all these positive affirmations. Yeah. The call out for me is that even if you can't say positive affirmations all day, I think it is crucial, like you're saying, before bed, this off-ramp, this kind of calming down of the body and rewiring the brain to say these things definitely before bed would be very powerful for people.
Yeah, and the thing is, to people listening that's going to watch this is, I've been experiencing this for a long time. So I like to do experiments. Let's see, because, you hear it, but I have to live it. So at one point in my life, I was having a very tough time for a lot of months. I didn't know what to do. And I said, you know what? I got to get back to the basics.
This is so important.
I have to get back to the basics. I got to do my daily prayers. I got to do my affirmations. Because when you do it so much and then you manifest, you forget. You get comfortable. Life takes off and things are great. but I was having a rough patch in life. Like my prayers wasn't connecting as much. Working out was working, but I still was back in this vulnerable, disconnected state. And I said, okay, Eric, you're going to go back to the basics. And so another thing I would do, I would take the Bible and I would go to Proverbs. I love Proverbs. It's one of my favorite parts of the Bible. And whatever the day was, I would read that at night, and then I would read that in the morning. And then pray, affirmations, the sayings I just told you. And I want to share a story because I was having such a rough time. This is when I was going through a dark night of the soul, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was literally in my apartment by myself, heartbroken, crying, like, God, why me? And that's the moment I knew I can't depend on people to get me right. I have to depend on my God, right? And so I said, okay, let's do it. And then the days went by, and next thing you know, I had to clear some people out of my life and, detach from old emotions. And then it's like magic happened. Like all these beautiful things came in, like more opportunities, more abundance. And I was like, the reason we have a morning and a night routine is to anchor ourselves into an energetic state and space, not only of gratitude or in abundance, but to receive, right? They say in Kabbalah is to receive, right? But when we're in a state of a low frequency, we can't receive. We only receive things on that frequency. So these things, these little tangible little things that might be tedious, it's going to benefit your energy because your currency is your energy. This is how we met, right? Energy. And so everything we're doing is to amplify our vibration, to change our frequency, to be in a space where we're receiving great things that we're calling in. So that's just why, and you got to do it over and over and over not until you get it, but it has to become your lifestyle.
Life. Yeah. I think for your whole life. And
it's repetitive.
And I think one of the reasons I love athletes so much is they have these routines. And I call it healing through repetition, or one of the mentors I used to have in New York City used to say, like what you said, like doing the same thing over and over again. It's like healing through repetition until healing occurs for that specific issue. Yeah. And so that's really why I wanted to talk about this particular topic as like the theme of this particular podcast is morning and nighttime routines, and who uses them, who doesn't really use them, when they're using them, what is it like, when they stop using them, what is it like? And so do you have something currently that you are either like a goal that you're working on now or a goal from the past where you felt like because you had the discipline to have a morning and nighttime routine, you're able to achieve this micro, macro goal in your own life?
That's a great question. Well, I'll start with the physical component. So I have a buddy who challenged me. It's like, hey, E, I do about 100 push-ups a day and 300 crunches. Okay. So I said, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And so for 4 or 5 months, I did 100 push-ups and 300 crunches every day.
No, I do like 10.
Like every day.
Oh my goodness.
Then he said, oh, you got to take it up. So I took it to 400.
My gosh.
But what I realized is not about what I was getting from the work exercise, is what I was becoming.
The discipline.
So after 2 weeks, my body was like 400 crunches, 100 push-ups. So I was wiring my subconscious to tell me like, this is what I'm doing. And then I felt stronger in my body. My core felt stronger. I was standing, better, taller, posture because of this little subtle challenge. He didn't challenge me, but he challenged me. I said, you know what? I need something to hold me accountable. And so now I'm like, I think I'm still at 400. I'm still at my 100. But now I can kind of like mix in what I want and how I want to do it. But you need something to look forward to. It's like a job. And I think most times we live outside of ourselves and not inside. So what is your internal life like? What is your internal being? So for me, that helped my physicality stay in check, just in a different way. Because even if I don't go in the gym, I'm still doing my crunches, I'm still doing my push-ups, right? And then I think the prayer thing with my girlfriend, I started probably about 4 months ago.
So nice.
And let me tell you something,
honestly,
it changed our relationship.
She's going to remember this forever.
It changed our relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, because I want to see how powerful my prayers are. And every time I pray, and every time I call these things in, it happens. On top of that, I have an affirmation that's dedicated to her. So every night,
that's so nice.
So I want to have this experiment to really call it into my life where I'm not just saying it, it's actually, I'm embodying it. And it's changing the course of where I'm going. So those two things, because those are the most important things to me, my body You know what I'm saying? My vibration. And the person that's close to my heart is my woman. So I have to make sure that's, in the right space. And I think when you do that, you just get more bandwidth in the universe for other things to come in because you have the discipline, you have the boundary, and it's a must do. It's not should or I could. I must do this.
No, you said two things that I want to touch upon. One is just the concept of self-discipline.
Yeah.
So I love speaking with high schoolers, and I always try to say to them, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but that self-discipline is very similar to self-love. And then going back to that quote, like we love other people the way we love ourselves. And so I find that if people are able to write down what they're going to do and then do what they say they're going to do, it builds self-confidence, self-esteem, more discipline. And that discipline allows them to really love themselves, and therefore they can love other people. And sometimes, especially in the younger teenagers, they feel maybe like jealous or insecure or worried about their peers. And I always encourage them, like, look, if you can pick your lane, if you can double, triple down in your lane, if you can have a little self-discipline, they start to have their own self-esteem, self-confidence, and then it's less about the people around them and more about their own journey. And so I just wanted to call out, because you were sharing, like, having that self-discipline is very exciting. Like, what would it be like to pray every single day, make a voice memo for my girlfriend? What is the compound effect of that? And that's another one of my favorite themes that I always want to mention on the podcast, is this cumulative idea of when you do a small micro action every day and week after week, month after month, year after year, what does that look like and what does that compound into? And that I find very exciting, which is what you just said. You said, like, you want to see.
Yeah, I want to see it.
You want to see what miracles or what level, like your connection, your relationship with her, if you're adding this into your morning routine, because you said the voice memos are part of the morning routine.
Every morning.
What is that compounding into? And that's very exciting.
And every day is different, but sometimes I'm surprised by her impact.
Yes.
Because I don't know what she's thinking about, what she's going through or growing through at night. She might be dreaming about something. So it made me realize, like, oh, this is actually having an effect on not only her mind and her body, but her soul.
Yeah.
And it's bringing us closer together. It's opening up my heart to receive and get out of my ego and get more into my higher self. But I do want to say something about believing in yourself and putting yourself first, self-love and self-discipline. There is a thread out there in the world that tells people, don't be too confident, don't be too cocky, don't be too arrogant. So when I think from the shadow side of that, of someone like people afraid to believe in themselves or to be great or to be confident, because you need to look out for others and you need to share and you need to give. Like where I come from, it's more survivor's remorse. You have guilt around success. You have guilt around progress. And most people don't know how to go within and make it about themselves, because others will say, you're selfish. Even for me, living in Baltimore, coming to LA, you be on a few shows. Oh, you're Hollywood. You take a hit. It takes a hit, Like, really? How am I Hollywood? I've been out here 15 years. You didn't say that when I wasn't on TV. I've been Hollywood, if that's the case.
Hilarious.
Right. So I do want to say, clear out the noise. To be great, to be amazing, to be successful, you need self-discipline. And self-discipline is self-love.
Yeah.
My entire life, I wanted to be great, but I didn't know part of greatness was loving yourself. I was always disciplined. I ironed my clothes. I took the same route to school, ate the same food, went to practice at the same time. I was like, I'm going to get this.
Chipping away,
compound interest.
Yeah.
And
yes. Say that again.
Compound interest.
Thank
Long
you.
term,
Thank you,
your
everyone.
benefit, right? So remember, stick to the plan of action. Stay consistent. And there's going to be days when you don't want to do it. But I have this thing. I learned this from my girlfriend because she shares it. Responsibility over feelings.
Us.
Your feelings are temporary. Responsibility over feelings, because we say,
oh, it's so painful. I'm thinking of certain things I don't want to do. And
no,
it's
absolutely.
Like straight up responsibility
but
over feelings.
The thing for some people, I said, well, if I was going to give you $100K to do that, would you do it? Well, you see how your energy changed? I just gave you incentive to do it.
Yeah.
So now you're doing it. So what changed?
Totally. Meaning your capacity is you can totally do it.
Right.
I used to say that, I swear, because it sounds like I'm just piggybacking off of what you said. But before I had liquid vitamins and I just had a private practice, I used to say to people, I'd tell them, please stop eating dinner at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And then they would say or text, like, this is really hard. It's 8:45 and I'm really hungry. And I would say, like you can have a snack if you want, but if I told you tomorrow morning I would give you $1 million, you would totally be okay with just waiting till
Absolutely.
breakfast. So it's very reflective that you just use a very similar example, because the willpower, the self-discipline, it's in there. It's just the fight. You got to fight and you got to bring it out. And it's funny, like you said, if someone gives you an incentive, somehow it becomes easier, but you already have the strength inside.
Yes. Yeah. So I always challenge myself, like, no, let's go. How does the embodied spiritual fitness guy show up? I don't care about how you feel. What are we getting done? Because also, people listening, watching, everything, it's not about you. It's bigger than you. Sometimes, Mary, I don't feel my best. But
me too. Right. So I'm going to say it all day long on the podcast. Right. It's okay. Me too.
Right. But I might say a prayer and change somebody's life. But they don't know I feel off.
Yeah.
They don't know I'm feeling like, I got it today.
Yeah.
But I got more than they might have. And just that little word of prayer.
Powerful.
So I realized my design in this lifetime is bigger than me. I know I'm here to raise the frequency of the collective and teach humanity how to love themselves unconditionally and show up when you don't want to, because it's not about you. It's about us. It's about we.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
I'm not attached to the identity of, no one cares. You're here for a larger calling. So do you want the life you say you want, or you just want to talk about it?
Yeah.
So the big picture is, how do I add value to my life so I can add value to others?
Yeah.
What information do I need? How much rest do I need to get?
How much rest? That's my New Year's. So as you
More
know,
rest.
Eric is my coach, everyone. And I only have, I had two New Year's resolutions for this year, 2025. First one, we already mentioned it, is rest. Just try to sleep. I am making a little progress. And the second one was just to kind of, be in charge of my own energy.
Sovereignty over your energy.
That's right.
And set boundaries and say no. It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
But I understand, it's hard to say no when you're everybody's yes. It's hard. But the more you say no, the more you can be more of a yes to the people you serve.
You can feel so
energetically,
good. Oh,
right?
God.
And it's just a nervous system thing, but we'll talk about that another time.
And so I have just one last question for you for this podcast. Is it's two-part question, so you can answer in two parts. The first is just to share anything that you would want people to know, because you've read a lot, you know a lot about just gratitude frequency. And then the second question, which you already kind of answered, but is really any closing thoughts, comments about believing in yourself and knowing that you do have all the answers within yourself. Of course, we want to ask for help. Of course, we want to have coaches. But your overall belief system on helping people learn that they know themselves better than anyone and they can find solutions for whatever they might be going through.
Yeah, so I will start with gratitude is the attitude to change your frequency, to change your life, to change your thinking. And then look, I'm so happy and grateful now that I get to do a podcast. Not that type of gratitude, but really feeling the gratitude in your body. Like the sun is out. You got food on your plate. You got a place to live. And in my experience, I also lived a life when I wasn't grateful and I didn't have gratitude. So there's a book, I don't know the author, but it's The Gap and the Gain.
Yes.
And the gap is when you're always looking at what you don't have. The gain is when you're looking at everything you've done and get where you at. And so I was so much in a gap. And it happens in Hollywood when you're chasing your dreams. You're always like, when's the next book? When's the next gig? When's the next show? When's the next client? It's like, bro, relax. Look what you have.
Yeah.
Look what you get to do.
Yeah.
So I'm big on to having gratitude for what I have, because I realize, I'm actually privileged. But when you're not in a gratitude energy, you're looking at what you don't have and you're being like a spoiled brat. So I'm here to tell people, find 3 things every morning and every night if you can, but every morning that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Because some people don't even make it to the next day. Some people leave Earth and we didn't get to say goodbye. We didn't get to say thank you. Like I just lost a coach 3 weeks ago. His son made it to the NBA. At least his son was able to experience it. Now he's gone.
Wow.
Right? So I'm grateful to have the time that I had with my coach to say, hey, coach, good luck. Your son and he passes. So gratitude is so important. And I think the second question was, the believing in yourself. Believing in yourself is so important. My clients are my mirror. So all the people that I get to sit in front of and stand with and help and motivate and inspire, they are the it in their world. And I'm constantly being shown these people come up into my life. This is my avatar, right? Of clientele, high-end CEOs, very successful. And they go through just as much or even more as anybody. But they show up when they don't feel like it. They show up when they're tired. They show up when they're overwhelmed. They show up when there's, they got to take a hit. They might have a lawsuit. They might have people trying to get money out of them. It's so much, but they still show up. And the beautiful thing about it, they're showing up in the energy that they love because it's their gift that they're giving to the world. And that's why I believe they are successful. Not because of the money, because they're in their gift and they mastered their gift to bring in the wealth, to bring in the opportunity.
That's very beautiful about what you just said about the gift.
The gift.
That whatever it means to them.
And last but not least, and this is going to end on this, I think is very important for all people, if you can, if you will, if you have the opportunity, to know who you really are. I spent so many years trying to figure out, who is Eric? Why am I here? What's my purpose? Through human design, astrology, numerology, all these things are like, my life makes sense because information changes situations. So the more information I have a better understanding of who I am. I'm not questioning these thoughts. I'm not questioning my psychic ability. I'm not questioning my gift to see things that others can't see. I know it's part of my nature. It's part of my makeup. It's part of my design. So it gives me more faith and more confidence when I am praying, when I am helping someone, that I don't need logic because I have so much certainty in everything.
This is, it's so amazing. You and I are always so aligned on so many topics, but I felt like there's a few things you shared in the podcast that I have really believed for years and have talked about for years, but that you and I have never spoken about. And so I think it's interesting that you're ending the podcast saying like, to learn and spend time getting to know who you are and what that means to you. And then I also start every lecture for the high schoolers. I don't start with the morning and nighttime routine concept. I don't start with time blocking or the compound effect. I actually just say, hey, you're so lucky because you get to learn who you are. And I also say, what makes you happy? And that what makes you happy and who you are is probably going to be many iterations in different decades of your life. And then to reverse engineer back your routine up into like, what makes you happy? Who are you? Where are you going? And then reverse engineer a morning and nighttime routine to kind of help you get there. But that macro, I love that you mentioned it as your closing comment because that what makes you happy, who are you question is the macro, not even the goals, but that's the macro. Like, that in the micro is the morning and nighttime routine.
Why am I here? Because I'll leave you with this.
Yes.
When we get older and we're on our deathbed, I don't, in my mind, I don't want to have any regrets. I want to say, I went for it, I went after it, and I gave everything. I want to, what's Dr. Wayne Dyer says, I want to die empty. I want to empty all the music that's in me out of me. I want to get it out. Get all your music out. Let it out. Let it play in the universe before you exit. And I think that's the best way, if you can, if you will, to live your life, no matter what the circumstances are.
Thank you so much for coming on the Move Forward Everyday podcast as our second guest. On behalf of myself and the entire MaryRuth Organics team, we totally appreciate you, Eric. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love. Move forward. Hey.
What did you think, Joel? It was great, right? It was so good. We did so good.